we invite those who are going to take over the speakers who have been talking throughout the day to take their seat, and then we will go ahead and start. Lastly, announcement for those who came for this workshop. Those tracks behind there, they are for those who come from different places. Your congregation names is tagged on the track. So by tomorrow, you bring them down, check your congregation, and if you see your congregation written on it, carry it. Don't carry the one that is not for your congregation, please. Thank you very much. Dominic.
A very good evening to you, beloved brethren. It has been a long day and a very worthy one indeed, because we have all learned, we've received a series of lectures, and I believe we are all informed. This is the last lap of today's program, and this is the time we want to deepen the conversation on some issues that were raised by the different speakers. So we are going to have a panel of discussion, and you are going to all participate. So I want us to all be attentive, and so that we can have a very robust discussion. May God help us in Jesus' name. Let me start by inviting the panelists. Yes, the first person here on the list is our brother and Bishop of the Church of Christ Ikharo Attah congregation in Abuja, Brother Attah Ikharo. We have Brother Jacob HUNDU. Sir, please take your seat. We have Brother Paul Otalu. We have another elder, our Brother Emmanuel Ojo. And lastly, but okay, the main thrust of all the lectures we received today is just to let us know the impact of technology on Christian service. That is the center of everything that have been taught. So the questions that will be coming forth are questions that we've developed based on the interactions and some of the issues that the speakers have raised. So like I said, listen attentively. As they attend to these questions, we may give one or two opportunity to the audience to also add their voice to the discussion or ask further questions based on the responses that we will receive from our panelists. So let's set the ball rolling. We have learned in the course of the different lectures that we received that we are in the digital age. And what that means is that we are so deeply connected. The world is a global village. You can be here and be connected to people in America and in different parts of the world. And you can also be here and be doing a lot of things with different group of people on social media and in different websites. So that shows that there is hyper connectivity in the affairs of men. So I'm asking, how can Christians maintain spiritual well-being in our hyper connected world? How can we maintain spiritual well-being? Because these connectivities have a way of distracting us, diverting our attention. So how can we remain spiritually well while still relating and exploring the different sides of the internet? So who will have the first shot for us? Let's start from the end there, Brother Paul.
All right. It's a very sensitive question because our spiritual well-being, I want to look at it this way, that it depends on what we consume, just like physical well-being. And no matter how hungry you are, I don't think you just go and cut any weed and begin to put in your tummy. So first of all, know yourself. Who am I? Okay, the Bible says we are a peculiar people. Is that not so? Yes. So what that means is that what we consume will not be the same thing that the people of the world will consume. We know that we are not the same as the people of the world. So when there are so many things to look up to on the social media, we use the scriptures. Prove all things and hold fast to that which is what? Good. So those ones that are meant for our growth, we focus on it. And I think that is even the reason why we are saying we need a balance. When we come together in assembly, we are taught what to pick from the general content on the internet and the social media space. So our well-being actually largely depend on what we consume as information and what we share as information. And the church is the pillar and ground of the truth. So you can see that from there we'll be able to really pick and select from all the junks, pick what is useful for us to grow as Christians.
All right, thank you. Two things he mentioned: have a focus, understand yourself, know who you are as you relate with all of these different social media platforms. Brata, would you want to add to that?
Yes, I think the fundamental thing we must understand is you can only grow within the context of what you represent. That means we are all here in a social media space. And if you go to social media space, it has everything you need. The Church of Christ lesson, you can get lessons in their thousands. You can get preachings in their thousands. And so the social media space is a beauty if only we connect and we feel it. What do we put on social media space? We put things that sometimes may not reflect the entirety of the feelings and the desire of people going there to get consolation and get success. Yes, doctrinal matters are germane. We must not sit down at the ground and pillar of truth and allow error to go unchallenged. No, we must challenge error. But there are times beyond this challenging of error that some persons are not on doctrinal interest. For instance, the economy is very bad. Transportation money is very bad. It's not, people hardly get money for transport. People hardly get money for food. There are parents here who have not paid school fees. And you must remind them that Philippians 4:19 does exist. That my God will supply all your needs according to his riches in glory through who? Christ Jesus. You must remind them what David said, that since I was young and now I am old, I have never seen God forsaking the righteous and their children does what? Begging for bread. You must remind them that after baptism in Matthew 28, 18, 19, 20 says, lo, I am with you unto the end of time. You must remind them of the providence of God as such. You know, sometimes the stereotype perception that we are only meant to argue and re-argue is making us not to have a busy social media space. People who are here, they are all looking at us, those who are watching us live, those who are following us here. They want you to touch every aspect of their life. So I think what should also help us as teachers is to know what we feed in there. And what will also help us as members is to go in there and sort out what represents the faith. I talk about Psalm 1:1-3. He said, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, nor sit in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. When you are in a social media space and Satan have content telling you about how big a woman's bum is, do you watch it or do you jump and pass? Hello, brethren. Do you watch or you jump and pass? When you see people calling calling criminal issues Yahoo. I don't pick. Do you pick or do you jump and pass? When you see Davido and some other persons, are you getting me, doing their own thing, having baby mama, do you love them or you jump and pass? So all those things are what feeds our spiritual being. And once the spirit being is filled, you can either be strong towards God or you are stronger towards the world. So that we get a little bit careful. And let me conclude this contribution on that note. Sometimes you wonder if today a musician come to Jos to come and play ungodly song, the stadium gets filled up. Am I correct? They are the ones who go to church on Sunday that fill that place. Am I right? Even our own is not even, our own are not even free either. So please, what feed your mind? When you go to that place, check what feed your mind and ask yourself, like I said earlier, when you hold social media, Facebook and others, the thing Facebook bring to you is the thing you have been asking Facebook, you have been watching there. So when you go there and you see women twerking on men's body and it's showing you, that means that is what Facebook know you like. If you like Church of Christ, you go to Church of Christ site to go and check hymns, check worship, check event. As you open Facebook, you go first bring one for you. It's going to show you where they do Church of Christ. So what you seek depend on what your spirit desire.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What brother has just said, just to keep it on point, the first speaker said we should know our identity and we should be focused. Brother Attah deepened it to say that we should also be mindful of what we feed ourselves with. And then what we also dish out, that we should focus on dishing messages of hope, messages of encouragement, messages that reflect our persons as God's children.
Abandon doctrine is very important.
Yes, and then doctrinal balance. Thank you. Sir, you want to add?
Yes. Yeah, it's
okay. Just add quickly.
It's important. We're talking about spiritual well-being.
Yes.
In a digital environment. You know, the digital space is ubiquitous now. You can't avoid it. It's there. But one of the presenters in profiling solutions to this talk about discipline. Discipline. If you are disciplined and you put God first. In fact, one of the guiding verses in scripture that must be topmost our mind is Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Then other things will be there. If that is the spiritual scale of preference, if God is number one in your life, whatever you are doing is top. So no matter how ubiquitous social media is, technology is, the way you are using it, God is at the top of your concern. There are other things to follow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's move ahead with other questions. Okay, but boy, we want to take this shot. So how does social media profile reflect or distort our true selves? How does social media profile? You know, your profile speaks of you. So how does it really reflect and distort ourselves? We need to know.
By profiling, the idea is, how do you identify yourself in social media? I guess that's what it is. Yes. Truly speaking, sometimes when you go through the social media, you discover a lot of Christians telling lies. Their age, their name, where they came from. Somebody is a local Nigerian here, he will tell you from UK. I have seen members of the church, identify, tell lies. Let me call it the way it's supposed to be. Why will you tell lie you are a Nigerian here from Mangu, from Lantang, from Panshin, from Ampere.
Yes.
And you are telling people, you're telling the world that you are from US. And people who knows you knows that you are telling a lie. The writer of the book of Revelation said, those who practice this thing, liars, the cowardly, will not inherit the kingdom of God. And the writer of the book of John clearly says, those who tell lies are speaking the language of their father, the devil, who was a liar from the beginning. Sometimes people think it is just social media. Somebody have not gone to the university, the full wall of the university. Say, I'm a student of UNIMET. I'm a student of UniJOS. I'm a student of Lafayette, Federal University Lafayette. You think you are trying to impress the world. I think that is the brain behind it. You want to impress the world, more especially our younger ones who want to attract girls, and girls who want to attract boys. Tell you I'm a medical student, whereas you have not even gone to College of Health Technology. You have not even studied health sciences. Probably it's only agri you have. So those who are in the Bible school will feel like, let me just tell the world I'm a lawyer, I'm a student of law, or engineering, or architect. The truth will always be manifested. And that person you are trying to impress, I said before, I will say it again, will run away from you like Joseph ran away from Potiphar's wife. Why not say the truth? The person who likes you that way will come. Go to that your remote village where there is no road. Go and bend down before your parents, I want to marry a daughter. That will give you a lasting marriage than faking. And at the end of the day, the truth is going to be known and you are going to be rated the way you are. Please, telling lies, profiling lies. I think the scripture says, I'm too sure of that, we are children of the light. Therefore, let our light be seen, not only when we walk, not only when we talk, even what we write about ourselves should be nothing but the truth.
Thank you very much. The question is, how does social media profiles show? You've answered correctly. I just want other speakers to also give a shot. How does social media profile show or distort our true selves?
Okay. Like my brother just said, people will call you the name you give them. If I meet you and I say, what's your name? And you say your name is Paul, that's what I call you. And if you say my name is Bingo, what will happen? We call you that Bingo. Do you understand? And that's why it's essential for you to be true in how you present yourself to the public. Let us understand something. Apart from the spiritual implications, when you are entering any social media account, you discover that there are agreements that you click, you agree. How many of us read it? We don't even read it. But those things can put us in jail. You will now find differences between what you have said and what is recorded. Should anything serious happens, because by your post, somebody can die. And that's why, like our brother, the elder just spoke now, we should be careful what we put in there. Rather, let us flood it with the gospel. And again, some of us expose ourselves to criminals because of photoshops and whatever. You now design yourself like a white person. And then you stand near a very mighty house. And your address is Houston, Texas. And the car in front of that, the other picture is such a very big car. Okay, G-Wagon. What happens? You begin to attract kidnappers. People begin to trace where you are. And you can get into trouble for that because you have called yourself a billionaire. And that also, by those pictures. So let us be careful what we post there because it will put us in trouble. And again, it will not present us as Christians that we are. And we are supposed to shine as light into the world, not to create more darkness to what is already existing. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me take another question that is similar to this so that maybe Brother Attah and Brother Emmanuel can attend to this. How does the use of social media influence our identity? And how does that affect our spiritual lives? Are there specific ways through which the social media influence our identity? And what is the relationship between that and our spiritual lives?
I think it does. It does a lot because it depends on how we use it. And I believe we are not using it deeply. You will be shocked to discover that we still walk the street and people still interrogate us with a question: which church is Church of Christ? Am I correct?
Yes.
That's the truth. They still ask you, which one be Church of Christ? That means we have not been able to do enough when it comes to advocacy. And we need to do enough. And by that, you know one thing about the truth? Let's forget it. I told some persons when I was teaching giving, I said, everybody here has money. Everybody in this hall has money. Where you spend your money is where your interest is. If your money is 2,000, 5,000, 3,000, 10 million, 1 billion, where you spend your money is where your interest is. Don't tell me you are going to heaven. Check where you are spending your money. That's where you are going to. Are you following me? Don't. America said, put your money where your mouth was. Why am I raising that? If we so love this church, if we believe it is the one true church, our neighbors must know where we go. Social media must know where we go. So if we are on social media and yet people ask us which one is the Church of Christ, then we have not done enough there. Spiritually, and to grow in spiritual realm, let me give you a gist. After we are ordained elders, in our WhatsApp group in the church, somebody will just go and put one police carrying bribe, put her there. Somebody doing it, put her there. I told the elders, the preachers, and the deacons, let's start to pray in the morning. Every morning we choose a brother that will run 1 week stretch. Early morning, within 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., you put a prayer, you put a hymn, and you put a small message. That thing have been running for close to about a month plus after our ordination. A brother come one day, he said, brother, I think I thank you now. At least I know they pray for my house. But at least if I go down WhatsApp group, I will hear prayer put in there. Hymn days that I play the hymn, I will read verse. So once I wake up in the morning, I dey run go social media. Go take prayer, take hymn, and supply amen. I read Bible small before I do it. I told him, thank you for your sincere heart. He was so sincere that he came out to say, in our house, we know they pray, but now at least I go tell them, say, go WhatsApp, go church WhatsApp, go hear prayer, hear singing and read Bible. So we can engage more there and bring people out and get them spiritually inclined. And it depends on how much we use it. But sadly, we are not using it enough.
Thank you very much. You have looked at it from the positive, but I think also there is the negative side to how social media also influence our identity. I don't know, but
No, I think let me add one. Sorry, sir. It doesn't even just influence. It tells you we are. A brother, I called an elderly brother. I said, "How are your children?" He said, "Fine." I said, "How are they?" He said, "No, they are still about the church." He said, "They are worshiping." I said, "I doubt." He said, "Why?" I said, "Go and check your son's Facebook display picture. A denominational pastor. Are you getting me? A pastor in denomination is his display picture. Where he face one day, he go put somebody waiting for him. The man said, "What?" I said, "Go and check." He ran there. He called the son. Son said, "Daddy, I just love his message. That's why I put his face." Born and brought up. Born and brought up. Sometimes you see some persons in our midst bringing some nice birthday picture, but the music they put under, hey, Satan full up. So what we do, but that's not for that, making you to that. What we do is depending on the Bible says, where your treasure is, there your heart will walk. When people upload those things, it tells you where their hearts are.
all right. Thank you very much. Yes. You want to add to that? Yes. Oh yes.
No, you know, in the morning we talk about the disadvantages of technology generally, and one of the issues we mentioned was misinformation, fake news, and wrong doctrine. It's full there, and the disadvantage to some of our members who are not well grounded in the basic doctrines of the Bible are carried away. Just like he's saying that the son of one of the members put the picture of a denominational pastor as his status. You can imagine that. That means he is now enjoying the wrong message that this man is passing. Is now putting him as. So the issue of wrong doctrine, the issue of fake news, the issue of misinformation are some of the cons of social media.
All right. Thank you very much. So, brethren, I hope we are taking note. These are things that we should take back and teach our members, because many of them are not here. We are the leaders that are here, so let's take note of all of these submissions, so that as we go back, we engage and pass it on to them. I don't know if anybody from the audience want to add to the question we've asked so far. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I think not just questions, but just one aspect. You know, like on Facebook, the moment you engage yourself or sign into Facebook, you have so many friend requests. Do we even check these friends that we are accepting? You know, somehow you want to beat the number, you want to reach up to 4,000, 1,000, 5,000, so that Facebook can raise you. But I think we should also look at the profile of those who are sending, this friend request to us. Sometimes you discover that they are scammers. Some are, their profiles are the content under these profiles are very, very wrong or not really qualifying, and then you accept their request as friends, they become your friend. Whatever they do affects your profile. So I think that is another aspect. We need to watch out the kinds of friends we have, even on our social media like Facebook. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, but Felix.
I think when we try to create content on social media, there are certain things we need to put in consideration. There is a need for you to know the kind of content you want to post on your social media. Being a Christian, you should be able channel your content towards preaching the gospel, edifying the people, and know things that will be able to draw them closer to Christ. You know, if you are a musician, what you do is you create a content that will show people that this is what you are. If you are an electrician, you create a content that shows that you are an electrician. If you are whoever you are, so in creating content, you should be able to channel your content to the kind of who you are and be able to draw people's attention to it, knowing fully well that you are a Christian, because your content will actually mislead or make people to misunderstood you. So, being a Christian, you should be able to channel your content towards who you are.
All right, thank you very much, Felix. Let's move forward. A question?
Yes.
You have a question? All right, a quick one, please. Question.
My name is Hinder from and highlighting the cases as regards to ICT in preaching gospel. We are not looking at our inward self, I think so, because some Christians, I use the word some because I don't use more. Some Christians will say the preacher who is on air currently is not by God. And it kills the mindset of every other person who is viewing. As the speaker said before, I think Attah was mentioning the fact about people sharing. You find that some persons are reluctant of sharing, at least the click of the share. So my question exactly is, how do we as Christians try to inculcate the aspect of making sure that messages which are passed through will go a long way, not being situated in a particular place. For example, if people are having their sexual opportunity, and there are many persons who are going to follow them, they only segment it into about 2 people. How are we going to spread this where we do not have the zeal to do that?
Okay, I don't know if I really understand the question.
Yeah, no comment.
Okay.
There are some preachers that are vibrant, who can present, and some are not vibrant. And we are talking about sharing. How can you share the person that is not vibrant, is not flowing? I think that's the point. Yes. I teach some method and principles of evangelism. What I sometimes tell my students is that there are some people who are not too good on the microphone. Yeah, they don't have the microphone voice. So just because your church have the money to be able to buy time, does not necessarily mean that you, who is the preacher, is the only person who can present. If you have able brothers who can do that, you can engage them. And moreover, if you have congregations coming together to put their resources in order to buy time, in order to air their programs, at least you should be able to select people who can kickstart, who can be the guinea pigs of this program. Thereafter, you can train others. Nobody who has a voice that cannot be trained. But from the beginning, it's going to be a challenging time for some people because they are not trained. But there are some who are trained. Use the people who are trained. Because if you use the people who are not trained, you will kill the interest of those people who are listening to your programs. And you may not be efficient. And people will turn off. So the purpose for which you are on air will be defeated. But use the people who are vibrant, people who can communicate, people who can make input. Thereafter, as you are doing that, you are training others because you're not going to be there forever. But the truth is what you have said. If you are able to bring people who are not good communicators, you have succeeded in wasting that money. You have succeeded in wasting people's resources. But as you do that, you train people so that they will be able to do effective communication so that the message of God will be reached?
Thank you. A very good one.
Yes, I think one of the issues that we are having again in the church is this issue of individualizing congregations. The Church of Christ is one. So if Baptist Road are having a program and there are other members of the Church of Christ in other congregations who can do wonderful communication, why not bring them? But sometimes with this issue of autonomy, is not our member. He has not placed membership in our congregation, so we will not use him. It's also one of the issues that sometimes is causing problems for us.
So we use the best.
Yes.
Wherever they are coming from, let's use them. All is to glorify God and to project the good image of the one true church of God. Is that not so? Yeah. All right. Please, let's proceed. You have some time to contribute. There are a lot of questions here. Let me go to Brother Emmanuel now. He hasn't said anything. I know he has gathered a lot of ideas and information to give. Now, we see a common trend of streamlining worship. And I've also had some people who believe that just participating in the virtual worship is okay for them. They come to church casually and all of that. So I want you to tell us, can true worship be done virtually or through online? Can authentic worship be done through online? There's a follow-up to it. Let me just put them down so that we can take them all at once. Now, is it proper for one to use virtual worship as a replacement for physical worship? And lastly, in what circumstances can live streaming of our worship be of advantage to us in this age? Are there circumstances that can be helpful? Please open up all of this so that we can understand.
Thank you very much. We've heard a lot today. Live streaming of worship and virtual worship. Hello? Yeah, we heard a lot today from the various speakers why we cannot replace normal worship, contact worship, or in-person worship with virtual worship because there are a lot of that you cannot do online, like taking of communion, I think like giving, and so many other things. And there are a lot of physical activities that has to be done in person while in worship, which you cannot do online. So definitely, the virtual worship cannot be replaced, or in-person worship cannot be replaced by virtual worship.
So are you saying that there are no situations that can be helpful?
No, I don't think, because even the time of COVID-19 incidents where people are not allowed to move around or to gather in large numbers, what the churches do then was we divided ourselves into locality. If you are from a certain locality, you meet together there, because even though there was this advent of Zooming and other things, but I don't think it's practicable.
Okay. So you are saying that someone cannot give virtually? Don't we give virtually?
Let me quickly say something. I stand to be corrected. There are so many things we cannot do online in worship. But when circumstances warrant, for example, when you are in a country that public worship is not allowed, or I say only in few circumstances. For example, if you are in prison and the church is not there, and you are able to have your phone, you can go stream. Just on that occasion. Or in some countries like Tunisia and some African countries that public gathering is forbidden. I know of some countries that some people in church history were told that they tear some portions of the Bible and send to each other in order to study. But now, in this technological age where you can even zoom other countries of the world, but only on those circumstances. But we cannot replace it if we have the freedom like we have in Nigeria and some part of Africa, that we will just because of laziness, stay at home and say we'll watch the Church of Christ in Savannah, Tennessee, worshiping. They are the ones worshiping. You are just watching. You are not participating.
Okay.
You are just watching. But in those circumstances that I mentioned, I think that can be maybe a solution, a meantime solution to that problem, but it's not that we can replace it. Like I said, I stand to be corrected. Please.
Okay, let's hear Brother Paul.
I think all the participants today mentioned this word, active participation, which will be missing in a lot of things when we worship. One of them is edification. Okay? Now, it is even wrong if you are able, okay, you have all the wherewithal to attend a worship service, for you to now sit down at home and say, well, Church of Christ Kado is having a live stream. Let me use that one and relax at home. Okay? One of our speakers today said, God knows your intention. Whether you are sincere, he knows. There are people who just want excuses not to meet with the brethren. Okay, like the case of the lost sheep we talked about. Maybe there is something they are running away from in the church, or they have done something, to someone in the neighborhood they don't want to come out. That's to say that they are staying back is not really for that purpose. But if you have like the circumstances they mentioned in some countries, even like Somalia where church is banned, and you are there maybe as a peacekeeper, and you have access to the internet, and you have the time, you can maybe stream something like that just to get a message, because they don't even want to see you with the Bible. So when you stream that, you'll be able to get that edification. But it does not make you an active participant in that worship. And worship is meant to be participated. It's not something that's why we say the church is a family. And in a family, nobody is an audience. Everybody is a part of that whole. So that's the point.
Thank you very much. I think what we are saying here is that technology has just come to close some gaps. Because I remember when I became a Christian newly, and in my community, there's no Church of Christ. Each time I travel to the village and I had to spend the weekend there, it means I won't worship, except I travel to another distant place. And those early days, what I normally do is I pick my Bible and the hymn book, go to a secluded place, and try to sing and try to give myself some. But with technology now, from what we have said, it means I can still connect in that circumstance. I will know what the brethren are teaching. I will also participate, even in giving, because I can send my money. If I prepare also ahead of time, I can take communion. Is it possible? Yes. Okay, let me tell you. No. Anyway, well, that's the subject of debate. But I believe that someone can, if you know you are going to a place like that, you can get a bread, and during that period, as the brethren are doing it, you are following. It's just like a stopgap. It's not as if it's a replacement, but it's a stopgap to enable you to also. That's how I see it. Yes. So thank you. I don't know. Do we have any response? The hands are too many. Clarification.
Okay, my name is James Kegama from Wulari Church of Christ, Maiduguri. Based on what the elder have said, during COVID-19 is the same thing we have zoning. In terms of cashless, what we do is that what the church agree, if you have it, you transfer it to the church account, because there's no cash if you intend to give what you have decided. And the elder have said it, this is something that you cannot able to do online. And again, there's one of Air Force, you know, we here in that Maiduguri have a crisis, which have some members that are living in those borders, all those areas, that they don't want to miss a worship on Sunday, first day of the week. So they do normally connect when we are in service by using Zooms, listen to the preaching in their own posts where they are living in those areas, Mongono and border to Niger. So some of them, they carry communion wine and bread. Once the service is going on lively, during the communion too, after the officiato, they do normally take a good them. And their collections, they transfer to the church first. So is it proper in those ways as they
that time they are live streaming and you are part of it, you are singing with them, you have given your giving, and then when it is time for communion, you have the elements that the church has given you, you have taken, you are together with them in fellowship. God knows the condition you are in.
All right, thank you very much. Brother Bala, you want to say something? Is it a question, ma? A question? 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 Contribution? Maybe we'll take the question.
Some of the questions we settle them tomorrow.
Okay, so brethren, you know, tomorrow we are going to have a workshop, and all of this. Okay. So tomorrow we'll have a workshop, and all the areas I believe will be looked at. So all these things we are saying, we will still come back to them. So if you don't have the opportunity of speaking, just hold your cool. Tomorrow you have enough time. Let me just exhaust the questions I have here so that we can move. Then if we have time, we'll give you opportunity for comments. Now, I know we have touched part of this, but let me just for emphasis, how can we balance the use of smartphones, tablets, and projector to enhance our services and propagate the gospel without allowing it to hinder concentration and participation in worship? How can we use all of this to enhance our services without, avoiding some of those things that, could hinder concentration and participation?
Well, as we mentioned before, there are so many areas that we can use that. But let me concentrate on the other side of it, because I want to believe that if truly you are coming to worship and you know that at this particular time I am going to join my heart with other children of God to reverence him, I will put my phone off from the internet. I will put my phone off from the internet. If I put my phone off from the internet, of course, if I'm in a situation that, I'm an officer that people have to be contacting me frequently, yes, I can leave my phone on silence. If there is any emergency thing that needs my attention, I can step out and look at it. Look. Service unto God is not only in worship. If you are serving in the hospital, it's service unto God. So during worship and you are an officer in the hospital and you are on call and you are in worship, you put your phone on silence for any eventuality. There is nothing wrong with that. You are still serving God.
In that work.
In that work. So, But if you are not that type of person, and you are coming to be part of the worship, why must you put your internet on? Even if you are the teacher, it is expected that you have prepared your lesson ahead of time. You don't need to put on the internet at that point in time to be teaching people. You have prepared your, except if you are not prepared. Yes, if you are not prepared, you want to put your internet on during the time of worship to be getting what you will tell people. And then it also shows your authenticity of worshiping God.
Thank you. So putting off the internet is one very good way to eliminate that. Please, can we have?
Okay, and you know, when someone who has attended this program goes home and sees somebody using his phone during the worship, he might feel offended. So let us understand that.
See what we are talking about.
Let us understand that there are people who are using the Bibles in our phones, maybe because they don't have a book with big characters, so that the one on your phone, you can increase the character and reduce it. Because I have seen people who are using it because of the size of the letters. So I'm yet to get a big character. I asked Brother Dabish for a big character Bible today because somebody asked me for it. Okay? So, and again, it doesn't mean that anyone who is using his phone is actually being distracted. We have to have a focused mind, so that not when you just see someone with a phone on and is looking, what is looking at genuinely, you have a responsibility to focus on the worship yourself, okay, to avoid being distracted yourself. You should not use the excuses of somebody else's, attitude to distract yourself. So that's just what I wanted to add to what our brother has said.
Okay. Let's move on. We don't have time. Let's see how we can wrap up these other questions in a few minutes. What should the church do to curb the misuse of phones, tablets during worship services? Should the church set up some regulations to guide against this? And what do you think should be done to brethren who may want to defy all these things and still behave the way they should? Should we subject them to the strong hammer of God?
Disfellowship. Please, I think that we are humans, and that's who we are, and Christians. The reality here is that it's not only on that and other things. We need to teach and teach and teach. Tell people the advantage and the disadvantage. What harm that is causing to you, and what harm that is causing to other people. We write in my congregation, as you step in, the first thing you see in the 4 walls is, please switch off your phones. With that, do you know sometimes some people will even forget and it will ring. But you're not going to tell them, you people don't listen to word, you don't listen to advice. They're not their children. And if you are down on them like that, some of them will leave the church for you. Because that's the grammar they use. If care is not taken, we will leave the church for you, as if you are the owner of the church. The reality here is that you follow these people with diplomacy. They just talk to them. Like 2 or 4 Sundays ago, 3 phones rang during worship. So when the announcer came, he said, I know that it was not deliberate. But please, as we come in, may we watch what is written on the wall. Very, very diplomatic. Because if you begin to tell people, sister, why did you do that? It's embarrassing. Why do you allow your phone? It may not be deliberate. As I said, we are humans. And therefore, let's keep teaching and reminding people. Some congregation will tell you, as we stand this worship, the song leader will announce that, please, brethren, in case you have forgotten, please may you switch off your phones. And some will not say that, but some will tell you, please, let's read what is on the word. That is helping us. But if some people deliberately don't want to switch it off, I don't think that will be a time that we will call for disfellowship on these people. Instead of talking in the public, I suggest the preachers should, or elders, or deacons, as the case may be, see these people one-on-one. What is the problem? Your phone has been ringing for the past 1 month in worship. What is the problem? Please, can we help you? Or if the person is saying he's always forgetting, will you assign somebody that as he is entering the worship, please, may you switch off your phone? If that will help, because we are looking for a way to curtail some of these things. But I don't think it's going to be right that you disfellowship somebody, except if you try all means and it's not working. Yet, I think we should.
Let's hear from. Yeah. I remember one of the presenters in profiling solutions said that one of the things churches can do is to come out with a technology use policy in the church. Maybe the church may have that kind of policy and say, okay, maybe in a month, maybe one Sunday we will not use projector, we will not use any technology. Come with your hymn books. Let's be natural. Yes, natural. Let us not use technology. So it may be part of the policy of the church that this Sunday, all of you come with your hymn books, come with your hard copy Bibles, and we are not going to use technology. Let's use the traditional way. Maybe that also, but that is very important. Church is supposed to have policy that is even written down, so that frequently you'll be reminding members that this is the policy of the church concerning use of technology, so that we will be aware and abreast of it. I think that also would be a solution.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. You see, it's one thing to attend worship, and it's another thing for the worship to be acceptable. Am I correct? It's not everybody that comes to gather with the saints is there with the purpose of truly worshiping. That's what we're talking about, that authenticity. Okay? So if somebody comes to the assembly and he is using the phone the way it's not supposed to be used, he should be marked by the church and instructive discipline can be carried out. Okay? And like the one I mentioned when I was teaching, I reported that brother to another brother in that congregation and said, this brother, have a word with him. This is what I observed. Okay? So we should realize that when we come to the worship and we got ourselves distracted, then our worship will not be acceptable. We only added to the number of attendants, because there is no true reverence in that worship. And there is no sincerity in your decision to come and gather with the saints. And that's why these two things were stressed from the beginning. So if we are coming really to serve God, we should sometimes go back and read the Old Testament and see how they prepare to come before God. Then when we come, we'll be able to add ours to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the summary of this is that congregation should come up with policy on the use of. It's very important that will be clearly communicated, and people should be reminded from time to time. That will go a long way in instilling discipline in us. Let me go to the second to the last. How can the use of projector be moderated? This, I think the teacher mentioned it, but didn't mention some of the ways. So I want this panelists to tell us how can we, the use of projector be moderated in a way that will eliminate its demerits. You mentioned some demerits. Are there possible ways that we can, through the policy or what have you, to ensure that those things are eliminated? If there are, let's know them.
During the presentation, I made mention of it briefly. that if you look at the merits of projector use in worship, one of them is disappearance of hymnals, and people no longer use their Bible as expected. So what we're saying was the hymns should be encouraged, should be by us while in worship, so that even if the projector fails or the technology fails, then we have something to fall back on. Then secondly, I still discourage the idea of a preacher coming to preach or to teach and is coming with a tablet or phones, because you have the Bible there. If the letters are small, you can buy a big Bible and keep it on the pulpit, so that the teacher that will teach permanently, so that the teacher that will teach doesn't have to look for a Bible to come with. The one with big print, letters that can be read by anybody. So that will help. But you see a situation where somebody is assigned to teach and is coming with maybe small Android phone, very small indeed, then is reading the Bible from it. What happened to the original print? So, and if a teacher is doing this, of course, you cannot blame the congregation or any other brother or sister for using such. So one of the ways is, let us discourage our teachers and our leaders from coming, when assigned to teach, take items, they should use the original print. And the members too should be encouraged. Instead of, there is nothing wrong coming with your Bible when you are coming to the church. Keep your phone, because that is where the temptation comes from. If you don't give chance to your phone, there is no way. If you keep your phone and you are using original print, the Bible print, you will not be tempted to look at the messages that pop up on your phone. But when you are using it, of course, whether you switch off your internet, a text message may come inside, and you still have to look at it.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate my brother for that, but let me also remind you that the print also originally was not like that. It's also a technology. Initially, the word of God was written on stones, from stones to vellum, from vellum to papyrus, before printing was invented by Johann Gutenberg in 1450 something. So if you are insisting that it must be the print Bible, then you are saying that it is the print Bible that God ordained. No, but initially it was not like that. What I think is important is that if somebody is using a smartphone as a teacher, it's a technology that we are using is accepted. The only thing is for you to use it responsibly, so that as you are on the stage there, it should not be ringing, it should not be making noises when messages are coming in. But so that is what, for me, I will say that we cannot say that people should not come to church with phones or tablets and use even as leaders. But when we're using that, we should use it responsibly and with that reverence and authenticity in our hearts.
You know, we are talking about distraction. I recall I've had an experience where on that day I put my slide on my phone. Something happened. So after the worship, and I use it to teach. Then a brother walked up to me and said, brother, that the other day he saw another leading brother also reading from his phone. That all these things is what is making these young people to, because they will see us using and they will also claim that they are also reading Bible, and then they will just be on the social media all through. And it discouraged me from using that. So that is a practical example. But let's hear Brother Paul.
Okay, we know that there are other non-digital, and it may not cause any problem. And again, we need to teach the purpose of worship. Why are we here? If we understand why we are here, we understand the meaning of reverence. We understand the meaning of being authentic. then I believe that if you have an assembly like what we have learned today, everybody will take caution and it will not raise any issue. But whether it is good or not, let us obedience of this issue and understand that it should not really offend the faith of others. We can always find a way around it, and the name of God will be glorified.
All right, thank you very much. So let's take the last one. In what practical ways can churches utilize social media? And I would like you to just give us maybe some specific platform that can be very useful. You know, Brother Attah wanted to do that, but he didn't go deep. So are there some social media platform that you would suggest that churches should focus on in advancing that will, you know, deepen our in-route as far as preaching of the gospel is concerned? Should the church even invest money or resources to set up such platforms and manage them? Would there be any problem if that is done? You know, so please.
No, I think all what we have been discussing falls within the purview of, one, our conscience, which is very germane here. Two, we guide our hearts. And three, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are of good report, we should think of those things. I think by and large, the Church of Christ is running at an arithmetic speed, while error runs at a geometric speed or supersonic speed. We should not make ourselves look a little bit timid. That's my perception here. All social media platforms are available for us. When Christ was on earth, he never really had all these platforms. What he had was the synagogue and the temple. Oh, synagogue and temple.
The seashore.
That's where he meets them. So he goes there and meets them. And when he finishes on a Shabbat, he touches their heart. The leaders groom. The other one said, this man must be from God. I think all the platforms. I'm happy when what's your name, brother? No, that one. What's your name? Yeah. I've seen them in Abuja, from Port Harcourt, streaming all church programs. And now churches are beginning to buy in. Reach as many people as you can reach. But it's very important for two things. Church must spend money in training and retraining. I have seen some churches who want to start streaming. They will just camera go there for floor. Camera will face the ground. And they will be struggling like poto. And the streaming will be so badly done. I have seen some churches who want to stream and are not professional. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4 roll are filled up. The 5th roll there is not filled up. The other one there is not filled up. Camera must focus on these people, not to open a wide shot that will show empty chairs in the other last row. It will make them look as if the church is not many when we are actually many. Even when we are many or we are few, you can create a system of doing 3 in a frame or 4 in a frame and showcase that people are concentrating. There are also times when you have some members in the church who come to church like those beaten by Boko Haram bandits and the herdsmen. They will squeeze face. You cut them off the streaming. You cut them off. Look for somebody smiling. A smiling, a cheerful, a serious-minded face, like our father over there. You capture him listening attentively. The other man who is just doing like somebody that they have not been paid for 6 months, you take him off. I'm sorry, I'm a broadcaster. Yes. I studied mass comm, I majored in broadcasting, and I have been a broadcaster for about 20-something years now. So if you don't know all those ones, you look at some churches streaming, it looks so dull. When they are singing, you have 2 sisters or 3 vibrating well. You will now go and meet an old person who mouth hardly open, and he put her in the back, bend neck in the bed. You pick on the ones who are really firing and showcase them as the best that we have. That's the truth. So that churches can spend money on training, retraining, and even on gadgets. Because if you have all of these gadgets now, world-class gadget. I called a meeting of my media team headed by my deacon, Nathan Damusa, I said, look at Kado. If you look at all the streaming in Nigeria, Kado is number one. They have the best of camera they use. Camera don't need to come and stay here. They stay very far. And at any point they zoom, they get standard color, standard image. It becomes out beautiful. And as they are streaming, they are scrolling the passages on the scroll bar. And they can even mix shot. So as we are talking here, the guy in the console is mixing our faces. And it looks like something that is properly produced. So churches should spend money. Churches should use every platform available to preach. Members should be encouraged to also stream it. And like we told them in my church, this thing is being streamed live. Oh. Dress well. Dress well. Look good. Or else they will call you from somewhere and say, will they watch you? What did they happen for Nigeria? You front face. Say, where did they watch me? And also, we must be flexible. Something happened on Sunday. As we are streaming, I saw the person streaming doing something. So as the elders, we sit at the back, at one seat. So we called him, say, come. What's the issue? He said, the song leader is almost starting the song after the teaching. And people are asking questions online. I told the brother, cut it, preacher, go back. Answer those people who are watching us. They are online watching the church program, and they are asking, man of God, please, what is this? Can you enlighten me? And those people may be far bigger than all of us here, in their thousands. I said, brother, answer them. The brother went, gave them a good answer, and they were pleased. Very pleased. Please, let us not be fixated. Let us not be so badly stereotyped. Let us not be stereotyped. I told them one day, they just come, I said, look, every first Sunday of the month, we call it short Sundays. Short Sundays. We take only sermon. We close. That is when we have youth class, youth meeting that day, women meeting we meet that day, elders meeting. So when we close 10:30, youth will go and meet in their own area, women will meet in their own area, elders and deacon will meet in their own area. But for us to now drag lesson till after 12, people will not meet till after 3. Next Sunday, church go empty. You. It's not cast on stone, so let's not be stereotyped. Even the one you talk about, the one of the PowerPoint, let us continue to use them. I think it was you who gave me the hymn book. Who gave me the hymn book? You are the one who gave me. Who gave me the hymn book in Jos? You are the preacher now. Who sent me hymn book? I think the preacher I met last time when I came in sent me a hymn book and a Bible. And I valued it, hard copy. I love the hard copy and I like it so much. I sit down at my spare time at work and I read through. Sometimes when I cannot go to the church, I connect with the church. Sometimes in the office, after on Sunday, I go to work every Sunday after work, I will put it in my office and I will play the whole 2-hour worship. Yeah. From beginning, I will play the whole worship and play it neatly. It revives, it's like I'm in church after church. So please, brethren, the word is open. It's a large global scale. We can do anything, we can go anywhere. But it depends on how best we love the church. Look at Nehemiah. Look at Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, all of them. They were people in a place where there is no worshiper. Daniel was before idol worshiping king. His mind was in where? Jerusalem. Nehemiah broke down in tears. His mind was in where? Jerusalem. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, their minds were in Jerusalem. Some people are in church and they are not here. Some people who are in this church and are on duty today are connecting with this program more than even those seated here. God knows the heart. God knows the heart of people very, very well. So please, let's use it very well and let us learn. Like I said before, please fear God. Respect God in reverence. If you stay before God, sometimes, like what do you call it? Physical distraction. I like the language. Yes, Some church program, when you go some church program I go to, people outside are more than those inside.
Yes.
Particularly youth program. People outside are more than those who are inside. That's the truth. Sometimes you even go church on Sunday. Some people will stand up and be loitering and gossiping outside. No handset to Satan own be say, this one I go walk them without handset. Go outside. Go outside, may you go. This may I carry you go outside. So please, there are, and even hello, even inside the church, I pray we are not in that group. We must stop it, or God will deal with us. Somebody will be preaching as your preacher. Your own is to be looking for fault.
Yes.
You will just sit down. The man will preach, finish. You will start, raise your hand up like we want to touch heaven. Then you will say, during the course of your teaching. Now, dear Satan, they come enter. Now, Satan, when that one don't mention, Satan don't start introduction. During the course of your teaching, brother. No, wait now. No, I'm just using it. During the course of your teaching, you said people should be careful how their children use phone. I know you are talking to my 3 daughters. Hello? Satan, don't use and finish. I had a nasty experience. Hello? Then there was no phone. 1997, there was no phone. But I'm coming, please. A brother, I was not married. I was teaching. And a brother was bitter. The church could feel it. The brother was bitter. When somebody is at the back boiling, and they are telling him, brother, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. I was teaching my teaching. He was boiling. Then I was not married. My topic is...
Was it a marriage?
No, it's a happy Christian home. So when he managed, they were begging him, they were calming him down. When we closed, he went to the wife. He said, this fight, we will fight this morning. You go tell Borata. Fight, we will fight early morning. Around 7, you tell Borata, may you go take and do teaching. The woman said, I don't see Borata. Now we gotta fight our fight finish. Now we gotta leave house together, come church. We even come late. I not even see him. As they teach happy Christian home, the husband is telling the wife, say we go see today. You don't go tell her, say I beat you this morning. That one, hello? Please, sorry. Phones were not used there. But Satan had carried this man away from the message. Physical distraction.
Non-digital.
Some of you may not like, you may not like your preacher or your elder. I went to a big church in Abuja and delivered the lesson on giving. I'm sorry, brethren. I just want us to, because in this arena we can fix many things. Yes. And I told the brethren, if a brother in this church decided to say, look, I want to give out money for us to buy global cleaning material, cleaning machine to clean all these tiles to look good. Please, let us be bold to thank him. The brother said, why will you thank him? It should be secretly done. Person buy material for you. Even buy bus. Church no go fit tell and say, brother, thank you for this bus. They say, no, it's wrong. Left hand and right hand. Then the person where he carry that brother mop and bucket take the mop church. You go mention your name. Say, we thank Sister Jennifer. She has been the one cleaning here. Nobody go talk. Sister Paulina, who works in Central Bank, who buy all of those things in packets. You can't mention her name. I said, brother, where you learn that witchcraft? He said, because sister get money, he be like say with the praise him. The one when he clean and pour, he be like say that one with the encourage him. So you already bitter that other one get money, take buy broom. The one when he pour, you go call his name, thank him, say he use person where he rich item take clean church. No, I'm sorry. I'm telling you how the mind is distracted. So please let us. I'm coming. Let us empty our mind. Are you getting me? Let us empty our mind and walk with God freely. It will help us. Before Brother Don was appointed was taken as a preacher in Apo, they called me to come and deliver lesson. I had taken giving for 4 Sundays. Then I now took how to treat your preacher. When I took that lesson, I'm sorry, brother, let me say these things. No, I will not. It's not. People are taking messages home. The brother Jimmy and some people now call me and say, this thing where you talk, so he enter also. We need to buy this man a car. I say it's possible. It's possible. We can buy him a car. We took care together. But then give you the car. No. The truth is, it depends on us. Let us open our mind to this church. Why I am feeling pained, I have been in error for many years. Some of una get luck, say una go some of these churches where una just go. In my church, I was usher, prayer warrior, church guard. Now they come pray 30 minutes before church. When all these men, you see these men where una they carry like this, like nobody. When pastors, they come our church, as in the lead. Are you there for this church, ba? I don't want a big one. Who there for here? No, it's not around. When pastor of this kind church, they come visit the one where they for where? Bukuru. We in Bukuru go fast for 2 weeks to receive them. Wait now, no, you in hello. The liberty you have here, you don't value it. You see them, you play with them. When that one they come, we go fast so that we can go to that spiritual realm and operate with him, because it's in a different realm. No, I'm serious. Today, hello, when I now have the luck, when me now have the luck to sit with these men, it's a privilege. I'm serious. We they go past our farm, go weed grass for 2 weeks, our own don't full of bush. And we do it happily. We they go wash pastor machine, wash cloth, dry them, stay for under tree, make it dry, we iron them, keep them, go home fulfilled. When you wear and come church, we go say, this cloth, God go bless me for them. Please, brethren, while we may not go to that extreme, but I want all of us to please open our hearts to developmental stride, avoid physical distraction, and embrace whatever we push the gospel of Christ forward. In my church, a brother and the wife decided when fuel don't reach 1,000 plus that they are bringing their car out, Sienna, that the car will be picking members to church every Sunday. Every Sunday, stay in your house. Car will pick you from 7 till 9:50. Sorry, 8:50. So please, brethren, whatever things are good, open your mind to the truth. We are going to follow it. We are going to do it. And I'm convinced that this church will go very, very far. And on the last note, please. No, I come back. Sorry, brother. If your church, hello.
Yes.
If your church is streaming online, listen.
Calm down.
Listen.
Are you not getting something?
If your church, if your church is streaming online, if they are streaming online, please dress well. I beg you, dress well. If your church, there is streamer online, dress well. Because the world is watching you, dress well. When you dress well, you will see the honor you will command. Somebody came outside the church and was harassing our brethren doing security. He was talking to them, shifter. And I told them, say, come, see what thing you wear yourself on Sunday. Why wouldn't they harass you? Put suit like DSS. Put tie like DSS. Put hand for pocket. Then when the person reach there, see you like DSS, he go say, morning, sir. When he see the way you be like laborer, say, come and shift. Thank you.
All right, thank you, brother. You know, I decided to allow Brother because, you know, he said something. This is a national program, is it not? A national program. And we have been enjoying him in Abuja. He has been doing a lot of work, reawakening bringing so many things to bear. So I feel it's an opportunity for him to be here. So let us hear him. And I believe we have been blessed by what some of the experiences he has shared with us. Our take on that last question is that churches should invest in training and retraining soldiers who will be on the social media 24/7, helping to propagate the gospel. And I want to propose that, because there was a time we came up with an idea in Abuja about having national kind of meeting where we talk on media evangelism. We came up with that thing 3 years ago, and up to now, nothing tangible is going. Let us find a way. Since this is a national program, let us find a way, because that will help us a lot to bring us together to synergize and see how we can, permeate the media's the space. States can begin to organize themselves, because there are people who are very experienced, who know how to do this thing. If they come and expose us to them and give us orientation and teach us how best we can do these things, we will go a long way, and the church will be known everywhere. We are starting something like that in Abuja, and I want to encourage that as we are going back to our state, let us think on how we will be working together and get the best, those who have the idea, to teach us. I believe with that, God will help us to make much impact in the social media space. May God help us in Jesus' name. So this is where we draw the curtain. Please, if there are questions but please, you can go back. But let's take, this sister has been raising her hand. Okay, please, the two of them.
Good evening, brethren. I think all of us, we have learned a lot of things from this workshop. I have so many things to say, but I will just say maybe one or two of them that is so important. One of them is that it is not necessary that you are the one that will prepare any lesson or video that you post on your social media. We can tap from one another. If Brother Dominic is good in writing and preparing those things, he have the equipment, it is for me to share what he has prepared. And that will go very far. So I want us to have that mindset that, okay, we can collaborate and then share what somebody has been using. That's one. Two, the issue of this distraction is that we need to also teach and continue to teach even our members, for them to know. Somebody in one of the teachers said we need to respect and honor God. Those things we should keep emphasizing them on daily basis. It's not one day something that you just say and you feel the members will take it and work with it. But every time you have opportunity, teach and reteach and continue to teach, because anything somebody is hearing on daily basis, there is tendency that the person will begin to assimilate it and begin to change, and then we will be able to get the result. Finally, the effect of the social media on our spirituality. I want to just say one experience. A sister came out on the Facebook and stand with one young man and asked family and friends, me and my husband, who find pass. That was just what she said. And somebody that was dating her and others that were thinking they want to have her as wife, when they saw, oh, so she's married, and they scared away. Till today, after 10 years, the sister is still single. I'm telling you the truth. So this is very negative impact that it has on us, and therefore we need to be very, very careful when using the social media. I have so many things, but then let me stop here. Thank you very much.
That is very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's hear our sister to ask her question, please. I'm sorry for taking too much time.
Zan ce mun gode ma ticocin sun dan bude mun kai, Allah yi musu albarka.
Amin.
Nawa tambayan shine ban san ko mene mutanen nan da suke dungure lokacin da sukan je da su handset ne, minti nawa za mu bautawa Allah. Da zuciyar mu yayi magana kan shetan ya doke Yesu, ya ce masa in ka gan duka duniya din nan ka rusuna mu zan baka. So yanzu an ɗauke mu masu bi ɗin da hasken nan yana tare da mu, an ɗauka wannan abubuwa mu ba da su ba za mu bauta wa Allah ba. So ni tambaya na shine a wannan wajen, in ba a yi da wannan abu ɗin ba zai dokaka Ubangiji ba ne, ko menene mun sa karfi a kai, kuma muna gan wanda ba su san Allah ba su tafiya da wannan abun zuwa wajen bautawa Allah. Ina tambayan wannan a wajen abin amsa ko gobe.
Panelists. Yes. Question. Okay. Our sister is asking that it seems we are all saying that we cannot do without the phone, and she's making a comparison that she has observed Muslim friends who go to worship, and she never saw them, going with their gadgets. Now, why can't we also just dedicate that time for God and then forget about our handset like them? I guess that's the question. Good. All right. So, brother, very quickly, brother Justice.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you, panelists and the MC for orchestrating the whole thing. Now, I have an idea or something I would like to say, which is very, very important. Currently, we are hearing of the wars, ongoing wars between Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, and Russia. And then the one in Africa, Guinea, and other places that is ongoing. And we are having brethren in all of these places. Now, I think we should also have in one of these our workshop, we should be thinking of 50 years and 100 years to come. The reason being that we are discussing now about the use of projectors, and most of us have already gone far, 100 years from now that we are seated here. Now, there are cases in the future where we would have these wars that will go, because we have 250 countries or more. These wars will continue, and then Christians will be dispersed.